What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are going to be pulling the engine out of the car. I know I've been talking about it for a long time, but it is finally here, so... We're sitting here, we're letting everything cool down. We're over here at the garage, and we're letting everything cool down. And hopefully we'll be able to get started on this thing pretty soon, but she is still pretty damn hot, and it is very hot outside, so it's going to be cooling down for a little while longer. As soon as that happens, I'm going to start unbuttoning all this. We're going to start getting into most of it as far as that goes. I'm not going to cover every little thing, but I'm going to try to cover all the major basics. You know, like disconnecting your battery and your fuel and getting your wiring harness. For the most part, it really just boils down to getting a bunch of stuff out of the way, unbuttoning your wiring harness, and getting some of the main bolts done. That's really as far as that goes. It's really not that big of a deal. Got to get it up in the air, and then we actually have to get the axles off. Well, just disconnect the axles from the transmission, which is not a big deal. Honda thing's not a big deal. We are going to have to get this radiator and air conditioner, the condenser out of the way. That's going to be something I'm not looking forward to. Other than that, it's really not going to be that big of a project as far as getting the engine out and getting it back in, but there is all the little things that go along with it as far as wiring everything together. So, that being said, back at you in a minute. Back at you, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is going to be a little update video. I know I feel like so bad that I didn't actually get into the bulk of the teardown. This is all basic stuff. Really, it's just, you know, wiring harness and manifolds, radiators out. AC condenser is still in. The bumper's got to come off. Header, took the header off. Clutch line, slave line is disconnected. Fuel injector harness, the fuel injectors are disconnected. There's a couple hard lines under there, or a couple connectors under there I have to disconnect. Not a real big deal, so I'm really getting close. I just have to take off the axle nuts, do the lower ball joints so I can pop the axles off, and then we'll be hooking this thing up on the crane and popping these motor mounts loose and these torque mounts loose and pulling this sucker out of here. And hopefully I'll get some of that as we're doing it. Alright? See you then. Alright guys, what's going on? So I'm back at you again with just a little bit update here going on. So at this point essentially the engine is ready to come out. I had to take the intake manifold and throttle body out just so I could get at the actual whole entire harness that runs underneath. If I was still rocking the stocker, I'd been able to get under there by myself. I mean, with it in, and there've been no real issues. And I didn't feel like laying on the ground and hunting at it in the dark. So you know what? I just took it off because it took me like 5 minutes, and that was that. So just got to knock a few mounts loose. That's my power steering bolt up over here, and it's my AC over here. Yeah, that's right. Keeping the AC. Gonna try anyway. T-bracket back there, gotta get at that, and then gotta take 2 torque mounts off and bust the bitch pin loose, and it's ready to come on out. So I will catch back up with you when we're there.
What's poppin', sisters? So it's me again, Mr. Wait, what's my name again?
Low Key A.F.
It's Low Key A.F.
Low Key.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing a little bit of face reveal before we start the video, cause obviously I'm the most important person in the video.
Here, film something.
So
film the engine away.
Okay.
While you're talking.
See, so this is the engine, and this is me. Yeah. I bet you wish you haven't seen this.
Hold on.
Okay, now.
There you go. Yeah, dab it up, dab. You gotta get it, come on. Gotta get the mandatory dab.
Yeah.
Alright, what's going on, guys? So, we're back again today.
What's good, guys?
This is day 2. Day 2 of the engine pull and replace for Craigslist Civic. We are pretty much down to the wire on getting this engine out. It has been it's been pretty straightforward so far, nothing big deal. I had to pull the intake manifold off, I think I said that yesterday. Wiring harness is out of the way, all the wiring, all the plumbing, everything is good to go. I took the shift linkages out, the bitch pin is out from the transmission. If you want to take a look over here, the drive shafts are out. They're just hanging because they're going right back in. This driver's side one, I might replace it because the boot is really, really ripped. I might try some crazy technique and tape it up or something for the time being. I mean, they're only $50 on Amazon, so whatever. I'm not that pressed. Whatever. AC is wrapped up over here. Power steering is wrapped up over here, just for easy remounting, so we don't have to pull a bunch of crap apart. As far as that goes, everything is really ready to rock and roll. We just got to set the crane up, and from there we will get to pull this sucker out. So let me take you for a little trip in here. And I've shown it before, but let's show it again at a better angle. Here's the engine that is going in. Much cleaner and better looking than that raggedy looking thing. But it is what it is, and it looks nice, and it's fresh, and yeah. Holla energy, yo. It's super fresh. Like I said, I had to take the intake manifold off. Got to do a little oil change too. Oh yeah, oil. Of course, I couldn't pull the whatsamajigger out of the drive shafts out until I emptied tranny oil. Came out 2 full quarts. That's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's always a good sign because I am reusing this transmission for a minute, so that's a good sign. Got to put the Walbro fuel pump in. This manifold is on. Turbo is clocked for where it should be right now. Just kind of winging that for the minute because I'm really not entirely sure where it's going to be totally sitting. Yeah, it's pretty much a guess right now. Also,
You look like you're summoning a demon.
yeah, I am.
Oh.
This is my demon right here. This is my demon. So
Alright.
everything's clocked. Just got to tighten everything up, which I think I did that most of the part. Gotta run the rest of these. That's gonna be my return. There's my downpipe, or your DP, not to be confused with other stuff. I showed you everything on the back side of this. I got a big bunch of crap load of parts right here. While the engine is out, I'm going to clean up the engine bay a little bit. And from there, we will get back to you with the engine coming out.
Yay.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, okay. Peace out, Girl Scout.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back at it on day number 3 for our Craigslist Civic boosted build. As you can see right now, you are looking at an empty engine bay. So the engine did come out. We'll put a little time lapse of me pulling it out right about now. Okay, so now that you saw that come out, it was super special. I'm sure anybody watching this channel has probably seen an engine come out of a car before. It's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we pulled. All right, so here is my engine that came out of the car. It is not that pretty. It is super oily. I mean, it had 200,000 miles on it, so what do you expect? There's bound to be a little bit of an oil issue, especially because Hondas do tend to weep a little oil. They get hot and they rev high and they, do that sort of thing. So we have a little bit of an issue with the intake manifold gasket, but I have a new one coming tomorrow. This black box is not going. The alternator, here's a funny little story about that. So we pull it all apart, and then I go and look at the alternator, and right about there is where an alternator pivot bolt should be. And there is none. So yeah, that's awesome. That whole time I've been driving around with this car with no alternator bolt in it. I mean, tensioner bolts on there. And it's doing its job to the fullest, because believe me, it's whew, at any time that alternator could have popped loose, and that could have been having a really bad time. So, there's new engine. Oh yeah, she looking sexy. Distributor's on, plugs are in. What else is there to say? So we're gonna be switching over the motor mounts today. I've got the transmission. Oh, the transmission. That's a whole nother ballgame. That thing. Whew, that thing was so gross. Okay, so it's sitting here, and I have been lighting her up with some engine degreaser and some, scuffing her down with a scrub brush. I already hit her once. I'm gonna hit her again. Yeah, she was grimy, and this is beautiful compared to what it was. It was so bad that when we were taking the bolts off to actually get the transmission separated from the engine, we had to dig them out with a screwdriver just to be able to get the socket on it. So let me get back to that, and maybe I'll throw a time lapse of me going through a round of it.